Hey everybody, welcome to the daily recap for February 1st, 2022. Start of the month, started off nicely. So today we figured we would have some window dressing basically. We'd have some buying coming in start of the month where new money gets put to work, and that was the case today. One thing that I did note this morning is the market did open up a little extended, so did the Qs, and I figured that if we hold this extension or we push, obviously both of those scenarios would be bullish. We held the extension all day. We actually just bullishly consolidated. And I told people in the room, I also wrote it on Twitter, things like that. I said, look at this thing look at the market on a larger time frame. What do you see? You see a bear flag reversal that's holding above that bear flag, which means we're actually bullishly consolidating above it and confirming the break of that bear flag to the upside. We did end up pushing into the end of the day. I was looking for 452. We got a little bit higher than that, which was great. But yeah, primarily what I was looking at was the VIX and the SPY, and the VIX selling off. I was using that for direction on individual names. We were still going after high PE tech for the most part today. Some of the names that we were going after, we'll just kind of talk about them. We had Netflix. We had a lot of continuation plays. We had Netflix, Baba, Beyond, etc., from last day that we talked about. Netflix, we held the 540 or the 440 calls. They're up 1,700%. We rolled the 470s. Those are up nicely. Intraday, some of the stuff that we did play. Let's start with stuff that didn't work. BKKT, we took this out the gate. We got stopped for about 17 cents. 453 stopped at 435, didn't work out. We took some SPY as a hedge intraday. Now that's a hedge, started to pull to the downside. I wasn't convinced on the downside. I just said, okay, let's hedge just to watch the put premiums. That ended up obviously not working because it was a hedge and we ended up pushing to the upside all day. We had, 95% long, so it's worth it always to, look to have a little bit of protection on. So that didn't work. What else didn't work today before we get into what did? On the equity side, BKKT. Oh, we took some shop on the short side during that hedge too. We ended up just exiting that starter on shop on the short side because obviously the market held up. So that was one that didn't work as well. And then what else did we do that didn't work? I think that's pretty much, that's it for the equity side. Some of the stuff that we did take, we had Tesla overnight, and we ended up adding on the dip this morning, which worked out nicely around the 915 area. And we ended up selling to the pop 940s, that add, and we're still holding our core position from 868 yesterday. Took some Facebook long out the gate this morning, which we ended up selling into close, which worked out nicely. Took some DDOG long, which we ended up selling for about 50 cents on the upside. Not a huge move. GME, which we ended up making a point and change to the upside this morning on this pop. Actually, a little bit more than that. It's about 2 points, I guess. 15, just under 2 points. But again, a good little trade there. We ended up also taking some. What else did we take? Oh, we took Netflix long intraday at 433s. And we played this for about 10 points to the upside, and that's what we used to roll into the 470 calls. We played UPST long from 112.78, looking for 121, which we almost hit at the exact area, which was a good little trade there. We also took some intraday bros long, which we ended up scalping for about 2 points and change to the upside. We took it at 56.92 on the push, and then obviously it went up towards 59.50. So that was a good little trade there. Right after, we took Sav on the long side, and we did scalp that from 47.90 into the 49.70s. So almost a 2 point trade on that as well. So equity, pretty good today. Really nice hit rate. And, Rivian was another one that didn't work. I knew there was one more. Rivian, we took a long starter, and that one ended up getting us a stopped out. And then, we took some fun. We scalped that to the long side. That was okay. Some DWAC, we took that on the long side at the end of the day. And then we ended up, so we scalped this for about 1.5 points, and we ended up rolling this into options, the 100 calls, which ended up working nicely for about 95% on that. So that wraps up the equity side. On the option side, we did a couple things as well. And let me just make sure that everything's working here. Yeah, on the equity side, so we did intraday. Let's just kind of talk about all these. There's a lot of positions. So right out the gate, we had, overnight square, we ended up taking some off on that pop, which worked out nicely. We took some coin long on the dip, which ended up popping up nicely for 100% change. We had some UPS long, which ended up being a nice little scalp. Visa 235 calls, which ended up getting in the money. We had them at 80 cents. I believe this was a couple 100% trade. Let me go back and look. Not quite. Still a really nice trade. Actually, no, it was. Sorry. It was about 230%, 220% trade. I knew it was a decent one. We took some AMD out the gate, which that one didn't end up working. The premiums did hold up, but we ended up just exiting that position. Some Docu 135 calls, which ended up just kind of staying flat the entire day. We took some ABBV, which didn't end up working this morning. We had some BA 210s overnight, and then we rolled to the 215s, which ended up working out nicely on those. What else did we do? We did some XOM 80 calls, and we actually rolled to the 83s as well. Both of them ended up working quite well. SDC $3 lotto calls, which now are up pretty close to 100%, I believe. We're swinging them overnight. Yep, they're at 100% at the moment. We did some CVX. Well, XOM was pushing just because oil looked good today. And we did a little lotto on that at the 139s, which ended up going around 40% to the upside. Decent trade. DKNG 23 calls. We also took 25s. We're holding these overnight. But the 23 calls ended up working nicely in the money. And then the 25s ended up, pushing up quite well. But obviously not as big. The 25 calls at peak, I believe we got them up to, let's see. Like it should be about 112%, something like that. And then the 23 calls got nicely in the money. And those are sitting at right now just under 100%. I believe it's like 90 something. 82%. So pretty close. CVX lotto, we talked about that. GMIA 9 calls and 950s, which we got a nice little push on those. GMIA 9 calls, we had them at 41 cents, and those ended up going up quite nicely, about 50%. And then the 950s ended up going about 50-60% as well to the upside. LM&D, one that we held overnight. The UPS T120 call roll, which worked out nicely, ended up getting in the money. And then, there's just a few other kind of like stragglers that we just took all day intraday. But yeah, overall, really nice day. Some pretty good continuation to the upside. Yeah, it was a little bit choppy on the market intraday, but I think we managed the direction well. Netflix, was a fantastic trade that we continue to hold, and we will continue to hold it going forward. And yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. In my opinion, guys, what I think happens in the market is this was bullish consolidation all day. I think we get another leg up. Obviously, we just had Google report after hours, and it's bullish. And I think that is going to let us push even higher on the Qs and the FANG tomorrow. We also had a nice buy on the mock on Microsoft, and Microsoft was a tad bit extended to the downside today, and I do think we will be able to push tomorrow. Anyways, that's it for the recap, guys. A little bit longer today, but yeah, some really good price action. I think we should see some continuation tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, go to SpartanTrading.com. We do stream from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. every single day. And yeah, come trade with us if you want, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.